not meeting our goal.
Yeah. So,
what do we do?
A lot of people say, well, do you really need to shoot an 80-pound bow? If you have a specific goal, maybe you do.
This bow actually came with an extra set of limbs. These are 80-pound limbs for this RX-1 Ultra.
We're going to do a limb swap and see what this bow, to see if we can't get this bow to meet that goal that we set.
Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and take the strings off first. And anytime you pull the strings off your bow, you want to make sure that you keep the twists as they are. You don't want the fibers to come untwisted. And the easiest way to do that is with paper clips. If you ever buy a new string, most of the time they come with paper clips holding the twist. There you go. The press, we've got it sitting here, and just have to work these out of the pockets to get them loose. Now just be careful, there's some pieces that are just kind of free floating in here. You don't want to lose any of that stuff. And there is the limb. It's got some grease on there.
grease.
So we want to make sure that we leave as much of that in place as possible. Probably ought to. There's that. Now, I don't know if it really matters, but I'm going to go ahead and make sure that I keep them with the side they're supposed to be on. So this is the one that's on the bottom now. This is the top. So top, bottom. Good?
Yeah.
Go ahead and get the limb saver out of there. And now, rather than going ahead and doing this both sides at the same time, I'm just going to do one side and work my way through this, okay? So, just need to get...
You got a screwdriver?
I'll get this little screwdriver right here.
All right.
So we want to be careful that we don't lose any of these little pieces.
So we just took that little pin that holds the axle in place. When they talk about axle to axle, this is the actual axle.
And that just slides right off of there. Okay, so that should have a number on there. 22.3 is what it says. Anyways, that is one of the limbs. We'll go ahead and set that right there. And we've already looked at these new limbs, and all the deflection numbers are exactly the same. So I'm going to go ahead and just slide this on here. Pretty much just put it back on the way I took it apart. Just like that. Use the pliers.
So he's just putting that cotter clip. Right? Sort of.
Luckily, it didn't go flying across the room. We've had that happen before.
Yes, we have. Went to the floor.
Be careful, don't lose them. Okay. Whew. That was rough. Okay, so now I said this one was the bottom.
That's right.
I'm gonna go ahead and set that in there. Kind of like it looked kind of like a Lego puzzle piece or something.
You don't necessarily need that, but
So we got the one side put back together. I don't know. It was a little tricky to get these pockets and everything to hold and stay steady. So what we did is we got it in there and we wrapped some electrical tape around it with a little bit of pressure just to hold it in place. As those bushings were a little tricky. And these are coming out. Okay, so just a little disclaimer. It is a little tricky to get those back in and get those in the right place. But we've got it, and we're going to go ahead and throw it back in the press. Go ahead and put it in the press and
so what are we gonna do next, Josh?
So what we're going to do next, well, we need to make sure it's timed. Even though we're careful about not untwisting the strings, we've increased the amount of pressure on the strings. We need to make sure that it's timed right before we get crazy about shooting it. So I think that should be our next step. So Kenneth wants me to pull it back before we time it. So here we go.
We're gonna see what the 80-pound limbs come out to be.
So got it zeroed. Let me see. Okay. $82.6.
There it is.
Take me for my word. Take my word for it. 82.6. So,
I think it's the last one.
because I'm so fat.
A little bit more. It's gonna come out just about right.
Just a hair. I could put a half a twist in these. And it would probably be a little closer. Just barely touching. So it shouldn't take them off.
Okay, you're off there on the top and you're still touching here on the bottom.
Start to come off there.
Yeah. Jeez, half a twisted that much. So you think just these right here?
just to have it list.
That's good. Good. Look how close that is. That's his time.
Okay, so here we are at the chrono. Gonna see what she's shooting. 282. All right, we're gonna do it one more time. Consistent reads here. 'Cause that's how we do. 282. So I was feeling like the draw length wasn't too long, so we went ahead and let it out to 30 and a half just to see what difference it makes. Looking good on my computer. 288. So that's more like it. Yeah, that's right where I want to be.
All right, so what you saw basically is pretty much the first time we've ever done a limb swap.
Yeah.
Pretty fun. And to kind of wrap that up, so our main goal was to get a 527 grain arrow is what it actually came out.
Yeah, something like that. 520s. I mean, pretty close.
520 whatever grain arrow to be in the 280 to 290 range. And the way that we did that was maybe a little bit of tinkering with the draw length, but mostly with 80-pound limbs. Like I said, that might be, some people talk about that. Josh was saying recently, there's a lot of people said that you don't need that. However, with our goal of shooting a longer axle-to-axle bow, you lose speed.
Yeah, exactly. So, to the 80-pound, draw weight question, I've heard and seen a lot of talk about and criticism actually of people shooting an 80-pound.
What are you trying to compensate
Yeah,
for?
exactly. And if you don't want to draw an 80-pound bow and shoot an 80-pound bow, that's just fine. But you could see the things that we wanted to accomplish with, a longer axle-to-axle setup. We couldn't do it really any other way.
Yeah.
So, and it all comes down to what your type of hunting, what you're hunting, and what you want to accomplish. So, don't be afraid to buy an 80-pound bow. Don't be afraid to set up a however you want to hunt. Don't let any outside influence change what you want to do. If you want to have a fast shooting bow, go right ahead and have a fast shooting bow. Don't let anybody else's opinion change what you want to do. That's what makes archery fun for me.
Exactly.
Just being able to do what I want to do and have what I want to have.
And that's not to say that this is for everybody.
No.
There's archers that don't like to pull 80 pounds. There's archers that don't like to pull 70 pounds. There's archers that don't like to pull 60 pounds.
I guess the reason that I bring that up, do what you want to do, is I've seen and witnessed guys that want to have, guys get 80-pound limbs put on their bows and getting talked out of having it set at 80 pounds, being told, well, let's put it at 73, and the bow technician's talking the guy out of what he wanted. For the bow technician's opinion, the guy didn't really get what he wanted, right? Yeah, and so just don't let I just get annoyed with that kind of stuff.
Well, and that's the thing. So to Josh's point is that we want to do what's comfortable for us. Really, for Josh with this setup, that 80-pound pull on a longer axle-to-axle bow is, how is it?
It's actually, so, and I've had pulls on I have a turbo, Defiant turbo, and the pull on that feels more aggressive than this does. And I mean, 80 pounds is 80 pounds, but if you've been pulling back bows for a while and different bows, that's the other thing too, is if you're just locked into one brand and you don't try anything else, you're not going to see the differences out there. Exactly. With the pulls. And this pull is actually fairly easy for an 80-pound pull.
Full disclosure, I just picked up an 80-pound Helix. Now, we haven't talked about what poundage it was. We pretty much used it in several different videos. I actually spent an extensive period of time a couple of days ago shooting that bow, and then I actually went back and forth from my Verdicts, which I have set up at 75 pounds. And I'll tell you, and people might not like to hear this, the pull on that 75-pound Verdicts is harder than the 85-pound Helix.
80 pounds.
Or the 80-pound Helix.
Yeah.
So, I mean, and like I said, nothing against the Verdicts. I still shoot it. I shoot it well. Even with that Verdicts, I've got different mods. I got different let-offs. And the reason is because I've found that I have a lot better shot, a lot steadier shot if I've got a lower let-off or a higher poundage that I'm holding. And the point to that is that everybody's different. Mm-hmm. Find what works for you. Don't be afraid to try different things. That's kind of the reason why we're doing this content, right?
Yeah. Don't be afraid. I mean, if you're just starting out and you feel like you don't have any business working on your own bow, you do. You can. If you have the means to get a few pieces of equipment, don't hesitate to do it. And you'll be able to customize your setups to what you want, and kind of do some of the things that we've been doing and did today. It's extremely valuable to me to be able to do that stuff and not have to.
Well, not only that, but it can be intimidating. I mean, the archery world, there's a lot of knowledge involved. And like I said before, I'm new to this compared to what you've been exposed to this kind of stuff, and it helps to be able to talk to people, find somebody that you know, that you trust, and that you feel like you can share knowledge with.
Yeah.
And that's how I've pretty much gained most of my knowledge, is just kind of talking with Josh, going over concepts, and that's helped us both kind of actually even broaden our experience with archery. It's fun to us. It's really, and it's become something that we like to do. We like to do a lot. It seems like very well now. It seems like.
I don't want to pat ourselves on the back or anything.
Yeah. Anyway,
we've come a long way. So, anyways, it's a lot of fun. Lots of things to learn still. So let us know. Let us know what we're doing good. Let us know what we're doing bad or what we need to improve on. We really want to hear back from you guys.
Exactly. A couple of shout outs. David, thanks a lot for watching the videos. I really appreciate your feedback. We both appreciate your feedback about the eBay video. Your input was really good. Very well done. Things that we didn't completely touch on in the video. So thanks for your comments. I hope that people have been referring to those comments if they watch those videos, because that's really important stuff too. Thanks, David.
Yeah. Shout out to Mr. Roberts.
W. Roberts.
No disrespect by saying, I just don't know what your first name is. That's the guy I picked this bow up from. And he was extremely good seller. Very good communication. Shipping was really fast. In fact, it was 3 days? Yeah, 3 days, and I had the bow in hand. So appreciate it. Stay tuned. We're going to be
you'll probably see this bow on some more videos.
In addition to that, Moses, you've seen me kind of refer to the Helix. I just talked about it, the 80-pound Helix. I picked that bow up from Moses off of eBay also. Very good eBay seller. Thanks guys for making eBay a great place to do business. I know we plugged it already and did like a 23-minute video on it, but
Maybe we should get an eBay sponsorship.
eBay sponsor.
I got my eBay shirt and
Yeah.
hat on.
Anyway, like, subscribe. This content really, I mean, sure, we've got ideas, but we'd like to put out what you want to see too. So in the comments, if you want to see something that we touch on, that we talk about, if you've got questions about things that we do, we'd be happy to put together videos for them.
Yep, exactly.
Subscribe.
Like, comment.